Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fall 2023 Employing U.S. Vets Conference. I am George Altman. I'm president of Vets Indexes, and I am so excited that so many of you are joining us today. This is our ninth time putting together this event, and I have to say, the growth that we've seen over that period has been just amazing. We thought that our last virtual conference in the fall last year, fall 2022, was big when we had more than 1,000 people register. Well, for this one, we have 2,500, about 2,500 people signed up for today's event. Moreover, representing more than 1,500 different organizations. Just incredible. I have to say, I am so happy to see this surge of interest in veteran employment, a very important, but I think historically overlooked issue. Maybe not anymore, looking at the turnout for today's conference. Thank you all so much for coming. Our goal today is to share best practices for organizations that are focused on better attracting and supporting veteran employees. You are going to hear today from the top experts in the space, representatives of the very best employers from organizations both large and small, as well as federal and state government officials who work on these issues every single day. They're going to discuss a lot of important topics, strategies for recruiting veteran employees, retaining veterans after they're hired, combating stereotypes about veterans, supporting employees who are in the National Guard and Reserves, and so much more. We've designed our agenda so that it will provide useful information for everyone, whether your organization is just starting to focus on employing veterans or whether you've been at it for years and are looking for pointers to keep your program on the cutting edge. So in addition to our typical keynote and full conference panels, we're also going to have 2 rounds of breakout sessions where you will be able to pick the topics that are most relevant to your organization's needs. And very important, we will be posting videos from all of these sessions on our website by next week. So anything that you might miss when it happens live today, you will be able to catch up on afterwards. 2 quick housekeeping notes. First, we absolutely encourage everyone to ask questions throughout the day. I think this conference really works best when it's an interactive back and forth conversation. So as you think of questions, please enter them into the chat box. Our panels will typically reserve the last 5 or 10 minutes to answering questions. And second, please do post about today's conference on social media using the hashtag #EmployingUSVets, all one word. Again, hashtag #EmployingUSVets. So there are a ton of people who came together to make today's event possible. Before we go any further, I think it's crucial that we stop and thank them now. First, thank you so much to our nation's service members, veterans, members of the National Guard and Reserve, and military spouses as well. You're the reason we're here today. You're the reason for all of this. Thank you so much for everything you have done and continue to do to make this a great country to live in. Thank you, of course, to our sponsors, whose consistent and ongoing support is absolutely essential to making these events possible. The sponsors for this conference are silver sponsor GXO Logistics and bronze sponsors ETF Global and Spectrum. If you are interested in sponsoring one of our future conferences, perhaps our coming spring 2024 conference, please reach out to us, info@vetsindexes.com. And you can also learn more about sponsorship opportunities by downloading our sponsorship brochure. I can tell you where to find that. We've uploaded this on the platform you're watching me on right now. Just look immediately below the box where you're watching me and click Session Details. The file you're looking for is the one called Spring 2024 Employing U.S. Vets Conference. And heads up that our spring in-person conferences, we have limited sponsorship opportunities for them, and those are always in high demand. So you're better reaching out sooner rather than later if you're interested. A big thank you, of course, to all of today's speakers for sharing your wisdom and experience with everyone. The great information you convey is, what makes these conferences so valuable and worthwhile. And thank you, of course, to everyone watching, to all of you attending, for taking time out of your busy schedules to be part of this event. I know we all are very busy these days, myself certainly included. I really appreciate you prioritizing veterans issues by attending this conference. There are, again, so many new faces at today's conference. For organizations that haven't worked with Vets Indexes before, I thought it might be helpful to give you all a quick introduction uh, to who we are and what we do. Vets Indexes is a leader in the veteran employment space, and we use hard data to both first identify and then highlight and elevate best practices for recruiting, retaining, and supporting veterans. You are going to hear a lot about data because it is central to everything that we do. I think too often talk about veterans issues focuses on positive but vague sentiments. Thank you for your service. And too little on the practical advice that can actually help the military connected community. When advice is offered, it's often based on intuition, supposition, not hard data. That's not our approach. We are big believers in the phrase if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So again, that's why data is central to everything that we do, even putting together this conference. And as a result, we have a lot of resources. Most of them, I should say right now, are available completely free of charge that can help organizations who are trying to improve their veterans programs. So I'll give you a quick run through of what those are, our major initiatives. First, of course, are conferences like this one. I want to mention that nearly all of our previous conferences, we have videos from all of the sessions posted online. There is a tremendous wealth of information there. I would absolutely encourage you after today's event to click around past events on our website, employingusvets.com, and check out those past videos. They can be very helpful. Our next conference is already set for April 11th of next year, April 11th, 2024. This will be a hybrid event. It's going to take place in person in New York City in the New York Athletic Club. Beautiful venue if you haven't been before. And you'll be able to do, some great one-on-one networking, the sorts of things that unfortunately are not available, not possible when we're doing this just online. So would love to have you join us there. If that's not possible, again, this will be a hybrid event. So if you can't join us in person, you can participate from anywhere just on your computer. We have opened up registration for that event, and my colleagues are right now putting the registration link into chat. So you can claim your ticket for that conference starting right now. Um, Tickets are available now at the early bird rate for those attending in person. There is absolutely no charge for tickets to the online portion. In addition, we are offering one free in person ticket to every organization that participates in the next major initiative that I have to tell you about, and that is the Vets Indexes Employer Awards Program. So, what is the Vets Indexes Employer Awards Program? It is an annual recognition program that surveys employers on their veteran related policies, practices, and outcomes, compares the data that we get in, and then presents the top finishers with awards that recognize their achievements. Very important to say right now, this program is entirely free of charge and not for sale. Unlike some other veteran employment award programs, we do not charge employers to participate, to be evaluated, or importantly, to use the award logos that they earn on marketing materials, advertising, internal or external. It's very important to us that the Vets Indexes Employer Awards can only ever be earned based on what organizations do for veterans. They can never, ever be bought, and that is a clear line in the sand for us. Important also to mention, we have strict confidentiality measures in place to ensure that proprietary information that you enter into the survey never gets out. And we always sign a few NDAs each year. So we do not want that to be an obstacle for preventing your organization from participating. This program This awards program, like today's conference and like most of our initiatives, is open to organizations of all types. Yes, publicly traded companies, of course, also privately held companies, nonprofit organizations, government agencies and departments, colleges, universities. Bottom line, it doesn't matter what type of organization you're coming from, big, small, for profit, not for profit, government. If employing veterans is a priority for you, this awards program is for you. And now is the perfect time for us to be talking about this and the perfect time to start getting involved if you haven't participated before, as our 2024 Vets Indexes Employer Awards Survey is going to launch in just a few weeks. November 6th is that launch date. So now is the perfect time to sign up if you haven't participated before. And what I'm going to do right now, if you all could bear with me, is I will share my screen. Give me 1 second. All right. I hope that you all can see my screen now. I am on our Vets Indexes website, vetsindexes.com/employer-awards. You can see in the URL bar. And this is our main screen explaining what the employer awards are. And most importantly, this yellow box right here is how you register to receive an invitation when surveys launch. So just fill it out with your information, hit the submit button, and you will be all set to receive your own invitation to participate when the survey launches, again, November 6th. The rest of this page, I absolutely encourage you to view. Has some crucial summary information about the program, how it works, the timeline, the award levels, what we focus on. So would love to have all of you participate. We were so gratified in the participation last year. We had a record number of organizations submit surveys, and we ended up recognizing 200 of them with awards. I will show everyone the five-star employers right now. These are organizations that truly distinguish themselves. So congratulations to all of our five-star employers from the 2023 round. And as I slowly scroll through the company and non-company organizations, you'll see a lot of household names that you're familiar with, very large companies. You're also going to see some much smaller organizations that you may not have heard of before, which I think kind of emphasizes the point. This is not something where it's only for organizations of a certain profile. It's only for the big companies or only for some other segment. It is for all organizations that are focused on veteran employment, and it's central to everything that we do. The Vets Indexes Employer Award Survey. So if you haven't participated before, please do get involved. There's both of the next two initiatives that I want to talk through are directly tied to the Vets Indexes Employer Award Survey. So next up are our indexes. If you're wondering why we're called Vets Indexes, this is why. We established and continue to maintain indexes which can be linked to financial products of the organizations established as the of the publicly traded companies established as the best employers for veterans, as determined by our Vets Indexes Employer Award Survey. So why did we put this together? Well, our investment thesis that you should see on the screen right now kind of lays that out. We had a theory of the case that veterans are uniquely valuable human resources for companies, but are sometimes underappreciated for their skills. And that the organizations that do the best job leveraging this talent pool will ultimately see the benefit show up in their bottom lines. So that was our theory going in. You can see kind of a breakdown by sector of the current index constituents for VETSX, our initial index. We also have another index called VTRNIX. But you can see here the performance has really borne out that theory. VETSX is represented with a dark blue line, the S&P 500 over with a light blue line, and you can see we have more than 10 years of tracking data here at this point. And up markets, down markets, good times or bad times in the stock market, you can see that our indexes are outperforming the S&P 500, that very common benchmark. So obviously, this is something that is only relevant to publicly traded organizations. This is the only thing that we do that has such exclusion, but for obvious reasons. I do want to emphasize we are right now in the midst of a renewed effort to link additional financial products to our indexes. So if you represent or if you know of an organization, a financial organization that might be interested in partnering with us on linking a financial product to our indexes, please reach out, survey@vetsindexes.com, and we are happy to continue that conversation. So I mentioned that the indexes are one element that are very much tied to our survey. Another and the last important initiative at Vets Indexes I want to talk you through that's also tied to our survey is the Veteran Employment Benchmarking Service. This is something that is very cool. There's nothing else like it anywhere. Essentially, the idea is we take all of the data that we get from the Vets Indexes Employer Awards, we put it together, we crunch the numbers, and we are able to spit out benchmarking reports that can show you both at a summary level and at a granular question by question level how your program stacks up to the competition. So right now we are looking at the summary level view. I should mention all of the data that you're seeing here and that you'll see on the next few slides is demo data. It does not reflect any organization's actual performance or numbers. But in this summary level view, you can see we are breaking down our 5 main evaluation categories that are part of the Vets Indexes Employer Awards: veteran recruiting and hiring, veteran employee development and retention, policies and culture, Guard and Reserve support, military spouse and family support. And for each of those, we are showing how your organization, again, demo data, uh, your organization being signified by the red circle, we can show you how you compare to our overall average of all survey respondents, to peers of similar size and structure, and to our most highly rated 5-star organizations. We're looking at the summary level view, but I think the real value here is when you can go beyond that summary view and go question by question, really dig into the details. So this slide will give you an example of that. We're looking right now at question 4.9 in the Vets Indexes Employer Award Survey, which focuses on the proportion of an organization's internal promotions that go to military connected employees. A very important advancement we were able to do in this year's benchmarking program is we were able to add up to 5 years of longitudinal tracking data. So beyond just seeing the most recent year's comparative numbers, 2022, you can go back and see what's been the long-term trend. Tremendously valuable. You can gain a lot more insight by seeing, over the last 5 years, how has your organization grown and evolved. We can also, go even deeper into the details. A really good example is taking the question of veteran recruiting. There are a lot of different techniques, methods that organizations employ to try to recruit veterans. Question 3.8, which you'll see here, lists some of those, and you can see which methods your organization employs, how that compares with what other organizations are doing with these averages. That's the input. And then is it having the desired outcome? How are these recruiting efforts impacting the proportion of your new hires who come from the military connected community? So there is just a ton of detail here that we could go through. Sadly, I do not have time to go through all of it. I do want to mention in that same session details section I directed you to earlier that has our conference sponsorship information, we also have this full slide deck. I absolutely encourage you to reach out and to have a look at it. And if you participated in the 2023 Vets Indexes Employer Award Survey, or any prior survey, we are ready to start delivering benchmarking sessions to you starting as soon as next week. So please reach out if you have participated in our previous surveys and would like to take advantage of benchmarking. If you have not yet participated in our surveys, the way to open the door to being able to access the benchmarking is to participate in our 2024 survey, again, launching November 6th. So thank you all very much. My time for the opening remarks is now sadly done, but that also means I have the distinct honor right now of introducing today's keynote speaker. Kimberly Mitchell is going to be our keynote speaker. She currently works as Senior Advisor and VSO Liaison for the Office of the Secretary at the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. The path she took to get there was very unusual, and she has an amazing story to share. Amid the uncertainty in recent weeks about a possible government shutdown, we did ask him to pre-record her remarks, just in case the shutdown may have prevented her from participating. Of course, we did manage to avert this latest shutdown threat, but she did such a great job with her recorded remarks, we thought it best to just use those. So please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Kim Mitchell.